Namaste from India. Good morning to everyone. Now, before starting session today, around 15 to 30 minutes, we just have here discussion regarding a study session, and I just make some summarize form from my side. I sharing with all of you. If you give any input regarding this, so kindly give. And once request all of you, any day of coming time, at least 4 to 5 minutes, one presentation kindly make from your side regarding cyber security, blockchain technology, either any other thing. It is helpful because in this training, different country nations, we just exchange idea what going in your country regarding cyber security and blockchain technology. Now we just from my side a study session, some discussion point summarize for all of you. Hopefully you are enjoying. Yesterday topic basically by the schedule market scenario along with understanding cyberspace in year 2025 and modern artificial intelligence in the cyber security. Modern artificial intelligence in the cyber security related schedule and session delivered by our senior trainer Nitin sir, and market scenario along with understanding cyberspace in year 2025 regarding material this designed by me already share in your group. So there are basically first day there are two parts. First is the market scenario with future of the cyber security. So I just here sharing some video for you and just look it and give your suggestion and your thought and think.
Future of cybersecurity with these four evolving technologies. More than ever, we conduct more of our personal lives and business activities online, making cybersecurity a key issue of our time. Understanding what cybersecurity's future is will teach you how to make the best use of your resources and remain secure not only today but tomorrow as well. The future of cybersecurity is difficult to foresee, as the market is continuously changing in response to cybercriminals' shifting activities and the new attacks they are creating. For instance, between 2019 and 2020, the number of global ransomware attacks increased by almost 25%, causing cybersecurity developers and businesses to build new applications to combat the phenomenon. Despite the challenges, there is a promise to reduce human dependence and to strengthen the capacity for cybersecurity. Myriad of evolving cognitive technologies can help us improve cybersecurity and navigate the increasingly malicious and disruptive landscape of cyber threats. 1. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has come to life in many sectors as a technology over the past few years. Today, it is possible to use AI and machine learning algorithms to automate jobs, crunch data and make decisions much faster than a person ever could. Nonetheless, potentially new technologies, like AI, pose cybersecurity threats as future vulnerabilities are poorly understood at release time. This means that AI systems are sure to become a major target for hackers, with more organizations relying on machine learning for mission-critical operations. In addition, potential tools and staff for cybersecurity will be forced to build techniques to detect and combat AI corruption attacks. However, AI changes the world of cybersecurity by offering hackers a new way to hit target organizations. Cybersecurity developers will use AI to address vulnerabilities themselves, detect security issues before they can be exploited and repel cyber attacks once they have started. 2. Machine learning. Effective cybersecurity technology can't be deployed today without relying heavily on machine learning. At the same time, deploying machine learning effectively is impossible without a comprehensive, rich, and complete approach to the underlying data. Cybersecurity systems can identify patterns with machine learning and learn from them to help prevent repeated attacks and respond to the changing behavior. It can help cybersecurity teams be more proactive in prevention of threats and the real-time response to active attacks. This will reduce the amount of time spent on repetitive activities and allow companies to use their resources more strategically. In short, machine learning will make cybersecurity easier, more proactive, less expensive, and much more efficient. But only if the underlying data supporting machine learning offers the full image of the world can it do such things. 3. Adaptive networks. Adaptive networks are automated and programmable networks that can configure, track, manage, and adapt to changing needs. These networks are based on three basic layers: programmable infrastructure, analytics and intelligence, and control and automation applications. The programmable layer of infrastructure serves as a sensor and generates a real-time data on network efficiency and vulnerabilities, enabling agencies to fix them proactively and assign resources accordingly. While the analytics layer brings insight to the network, it applies machine learning to analyze data based on performance and to predict network issues and threats more accurately. The end layer is monitoring and automation applications. To simplify network management and service delivery through multi-vendor, multi-domain hybrid networks, it leverages software-defined network architectures and multi-domain service orchestration. Such layers combine to create a more flexible, scalable, and stable network. An adaptive network helps agencies meet rising bandwidth stresses, as well as demands for modernization and security, delivering high-performance connectivity and faster services to constituents. 4. Supercomputing. Locating a needle in a haystack can be like identifying cybersecurity threats from raw internet data. For example, the amount of internet traffic data generated in a 48-hour span is too large for one or even 100 laptops for human analysts to process into something digestible. For this purpose, analysts rely on sampling to check for possible threats, choosing small pieces of data to investigate in depth, trying to detect unusual behavior. Although this form of sampling can work for certain tasks, such as identifying common IP addresses, the identification of subtler threatening patterns is inadequate. Supercomputing is promising in cybersecurity. MIT Lincoln Labs fellow Jeremy Kepner states that detecting cyber threats can be greatly improved by providing a detailed model of regular background network traffic, and that researchers should equate the internet traffic data they are examining with these models in order to bring anomalous activity to the surface more readily. At a conference sponsored by DARPA, Supercomputers Sans Humans, this type of capability was shown to be exposed to bugs which the computers were able to detect and quickly repair the threats. Human factor fallibility has become a weakness in cybersecurity. It will probably get more as we become more immersed in digital interconnectivity, i.e. remote work on the Internet of Things smart cities, associated with the realities of a larger cyber attack surface. Smart cybersecurity plays a promising and an important role in identifying, filtering, neutralizing, and remedying cyber threats. Through harnessing the emerging market technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, automated and adaptive networks, and supercomputing, companies would be able to address potential challenges more readily. Like and subscribe.
Okay. Basically, these trends upcoming in future, five most important factor that affected in field of the cyber security. And second, some one more video for all of you regarding AI. You also see, then we can discuss.
In 2030, the world will look dramatically different due to multiple technological advancements. For example, human-like AI will likely become a reality. By 2030, there will be exponential improvements of computer processing power, voice recognition, image recognition, deep learning, and other software algorithms. Likewise, natural language processing technologies like GPT-3 are constantly being updated and surpassed. It will likely reach the point where artificial intelligence can pass the Turing test. This is a test where a human engages in a conversation with a machine and probes it with numerous questions. And if that machine can convince that person that it's human, it passes the test. This could quickly lead to AI-generated virtual assistants that have the capability to carry nuanced conversations with you. And later, this technology could carry over to characters in virtual worlds and video games. Number 2, 8K virtual reality headsets will become mainstream. By 2030, most VR screens will have 8K resolution, which has 4 times the number of pixels as 4K screens. When you view character models and objects up close with these devices, there will be zero visible pixelation, resulting in breathtaking detail and realism. Because of other equipment upgrades, VR games will have near zero latency and a wide field of view. Additionally, some haptic suits will become electrode meshes to maximize comfort and convenience. Number 3, brain interface devices will become mainstream. By 2030, most VR headsets could include the option for a brain-computer interface to record users' electrical signals, enabling actions to be directed by merely thinking about them. Headbands and wristbands with non-invasive sensors could become the preferred choices for mainstream brain-computer interface use. However, the immersive effects provided by brain-computer interfaces could be limited at this stage and only usable in specific situations. Nonetheless, they will provide increasingly more lifelike ways of interacting with virtual characters, objects, and environments in the metaverse. Number 4, the first quantum computers with 1 million qubits will emerge. By 2030, IBM and Google could each build quantum computers with 1 million qubits. This advancement will revolutionize how we solve optimization problems, train and run machine learning algorithms, and better understand the physical processes of nature down to the subatomic level. It will revolutionize areas such as artificial intelligence, financial modeling, drug development, weather forecasting, and cybersecurity. And by as soon as 2035, fully functional quantum computers could become available to the public, both in the cloud and as physical units. Number 5, 3D printed human organs will begin being used. By 2030, 3D printing will be used to construct living biological systems. Layer after layer of cells could be dispensed from printer heads and placed exactly where they're needed with microscopic precision. Initially, they construct simple components like blood vessels and tissues. Next, they would begin to print relatively simple organs. In the coming decades, they could eventually print the majority of the 78 organs in the human body. Number 6, artificial brain implants will restore lost memories. By 2030, it could become possible to replicate small areas of the brain with artificial brain implants in order to repair damage from Alzheimer's, strokes, or injuries. This also includes the restoration of lost memories. That's because these devices can mimic the electrochemical signals from regions like the hippocampus, which is involved in the consolidation of information from short-term to long-term memory. The device will work by effectively replacing damaged parts of the brain, predicting what those parts of the brain should do from microsecond to microsecond, and then allowing the transmission of brain signals between areas where there was once a gap. Through the 2030s and 40s, artificial brain implants will become increasingly more effective at replicating complex functions in the brain. Number 7, SpaceX's first crewed Mars mission will be successful. As early as 2024, SpaceX astronauts will launch into space and reach Mars by 2025. They will use the SpaceX Starship on the Super Heavy rocket to reach the planet. Additionally, they'll bring robots with them to perform activities like making basic materials and parts on Mars. After landing on Mars, the spacecraft will be loaded with methane-based rocket fuel that they could create on Mars to return to Earth. Number 8, the first version of the quantum internet could emerge. A quantum internet would use quantum signals instead of radio signals to send information. This type of internet would be primarily used to send data that can't be hacked or intercepted using conventional methods. In 2030, it may be possible to use a personal computer to transmit or access quantum encrypted information through a cloud-based quantum computer. The US Department of Energy has already unveiled this blueprint for a national quantum internet, and we may see a prototype for it by 2030. Number 9, 1 billion human genomes will be sequenced. By as early as 2025, DNA testing will be so cheap, fast, and routinely accessible that over 1 billion human genomes will be sequenced around the world. That's about 1/8 of the world's population. the quantity of genomic data will reach the exabyte scale, around the same size as the video file content of the entire YouTube website. This massive amount of data will make it easier than ever before to use artificial intelligence to identify multiple disorders linked to specific genes, including cognitive disorders. Since 75% of a person's IQ is attributed to genetic differences, the identification and exploitation of these genes could play a huge role in creating super intelligent humans in the coming decades. Number 10. Human brain simulations could become possible. By as early as 2025, the exponential growth of data and information technology could make it possible to form accurate models of every part of the human brain and its 100 billion neurons. Although it could be possible to scan and map a complete human brain down to the neuron level, analyzing the enormous volumes of data it contains and using that to fully understand its workings will take much longer. Nonetheless, this major milestone will lead to innovative approaches to resolve most types of brain-related ailments. It could even help us in areas such as non-biological brain augmentation, using brain-computer interfaces to control virtual objects, and the transferring of memories from humans to machines and machines to humans. Number 11. Terabyte internet speeds will be commonplace. By 2030, 6G could replace 5G. Some experts estimate that it could be 100 times faster than 5G, which equates to 1 terabyte per second. At that speed, you could download 142 hours of Netflix movies in 1 second. 6G will also make it possible for cyberspace to support human thought and action in real time through virtual reality and brain-computer interface devices mounted on the human body. This would result in virtual reality experiences that feel and look just like real life. Additionally, the Internet of Things will have the potential to grow by further orders of magnitude. It wouldn't just connect billions of objects, it would connect trillions of objects. Number 12. Smart grid technology will become widespread in the developed world. Smart grids will provide the following advantages. Smart grids allow energy to be transmitted in both directions through power lines. This means that homes and businesses can add surplus electricity into the system so that no energy goes to waste. Smart grids will be adaptable to the sporadic power output produced by solar and wind energy sources, which will make large-scale renewables more feasible. With the smart grid, if a broken transmission line causes a blackout, sensors instantly locate the damaged area while electricity is rerouted to the affected area. This will lead to fewer noticeable blackouts in the future. In the coming decades, smart grids will expand to even larger scales. Entire regions and countries will begin merging the grids together. Number 13. Foldable electronics could become commonplace. By the mid-2020s, printed electronics could explode into the mainstream, creating a new generation of ultra-thin electronics. By 2030, they will have such low fabrication costs that they'll be commonplace in countless everyday business and consumer applications, meaning previously bulky or heavy devices could be folded, stored, or carried as easily as sheets of paper. This includes flexible TV displays that could be rolled or hung like posters. Foldable smartphones and foldable e-books could also become widespread. Number 14. Open source 3D printed clothing will be near zero cost. 3D printing will become a mainstream consumer technology and produce items of clothing for just a few cents. By as early as 2024, 3D printing will be over 30 times faster than it was in 2014. Millions of open source designs will be available to download. Sweatshops in developing countries could decline as a result, with the low-paid factory jobs being made obsolete. Number 15. 100 terabyte hard drives will become mainstream. By 2026, 50 terabyte consumer-level hard drives will be on sale. And by 2030, consumer PC users will have access to 100 terabyte hard drives. This will become possible due to an innovative technique known as heat-assisted magnetic recording, which will allow data to be written to much smaller spaces. Additionally, hard drives will begin using multiple actuators at a time, which will multiply reading and writing speeds of storage data. These hard drives will help us store 8K and 16K resolution videos. Additionally, they'll help us run apps and store files that involve technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality, advanced video editing, artificial intelligence, and more. Number 16. Hypersonic missiles will be commonly used in major militaries. When launched, cruise missiles typically reach 500 to 600 miles per hour. However, hypersonic missiles are capable of exceeding Mach 5, which is 7 times faster than normal missiles and 5 times the speed of sound. And since they're so fast, they're difficult if not impossible to deflect with conventional defensive systems. Number 17. Carbon sequestration will be commonly used in many nations. Following years of research and development, various various new approaches will be utilized for trapping and removing carbon dioxide from the air. One method of carbon sequestration is the deployment of artificial trees. These artificial trees can capture carbon dioxide through a filtering system thousands of times more efficiently than real trees. They come in various shapes and can be placed throughout large cities, on the side of freeways, and other polluted areas where they can have the most positive impact. After the carbon dioxide is pulled from the air, its solid form could be used for various purposes, such as the manufacture of products. But great care must be taken to ensure that the carbon dioxide isn't re-released into the atmosphere after it's reused. Number 18, small modular nuclear reactors could gain widespread adoption. Small modular reactors are a new class of smaller, cheaper, safer, and more adaptable nuclear power plants. Since they can be built at a much lower cost than traditional reactors, they're especially attractive to developing nations, which lack the ability to spend tens of billions of dollars on infrastructure. Small modular reactors would also allow increments of capacity to be gradually added as power needs increase over time. Number 19, several extinct species could be resurrected. By 2030, several extinct species could be restored, such as the woolly mammoth, the dodo bird, and the saber-toothed tiger. There are 3 different approaches to restore extinct animals and plants. Cloning involves extracting from preserved tissue to create an exact modern copy. Selective breeding is where a closely related modern species is given characteristics of the extinct relative. And genetic engineering is where DNA of a modern species is edited until it closely matches the extinct species. Decades from now, the restoration of extinct species could become a vital part of restoring the Earth's biosphere. For various purposes, we could even see the restoration of Homo sapiens and various dinosaur species in the coming decades. Number 20, the entire ocean floor will be mapped. As of today, less than 10% of the global ocean floor has been mapped in detail. Even surfaces of the moon, Mars, and other planets are better understood. Organizations in France and Japan are working on a collaborative project called Seabed 2030 that will produce a definitive map of the world ocean floor by 2030. As part of the effort, fleets of automated vessels capable of transoceanic journeys would cover millions of square miles, carrying with them an assortment of sensors and other technologies. These ships will deploy tethered robots to inspect areas of interest, all the way down to the floor of the ocean, thousands of miles below the surface. By 2030, the project will be largely complete. The maps would reveal the physical structure of the ocean floor with unprecedented detail, in addition to showing the location of shipwrecks, crashed planes, archaeological artifacts, and other areas of interest. Commercial applications include undersea mining and inspection of pipelines. Thanks for watching. Make sure to watch the video to the right about technologies in the year 2040.
Okay, these 2 video for just related to upcoming cyber security and AI. And this year, top 10 cyber security watch out in year 2022. This is from my side. Number 1 is the rise of automotive hacking. Number 2 is the potential of artificial intelligence. And mobile is the new target as this year very too much. Cloud is also potential vulnerable. Data breaches prime target. IoT with 5G network. Automation and integration. Targeted ransomware. State sponsor cyber warfare. And the last 10 is that insider threats. So this 10 point from my side for this year. Just search out and see what going in the cyber security field in year 2022. Rise of automatic hacking. This is a modern vehicle nowadays come packed with automated software, creating seamless connectivity for the driver, increases control, engine timing, door lock, airbags, and advanced system for the driver assistance. These vehicles are use Bluetooth and Wi-Fi technology to communicate, that also open them to several vulnerability or threats from the hackers. Gaining control of the vehicle or using microphone for eavesdropping is expected to rise in 2022, and with more use of automatic vehicles, self-driving or autonomous vehicle use, and even further complex mechanism that required strict cybersecurity measures. Number two is the potential of artificial intelligence. With AI being introduced in all market segments, this technology with a combination of machine learning has brought a render sense in cybersecurity. AI has been paramount in building automated security systems, natural language processing, face detection, and automatic threat detection, although it is also being used to develop a smart malware and attack to the bypass the latest security protocol in controlling data. AI-enabled threat detection system can predict new attacks and notify admin for any data breach instantly. Next is the mobile is the new target. Cyber security trends provide a considerable increase about 50%. This is my research for the mobile banking malware or attack in 2019, making our handheld device a potential prospect for hackers. All our photos, financial transaction, emails, and message poses more threat to individuals. The smartphone virus or malware may capture the attention of the cybersecurity in this year 2022. Next, cloud is also potentially vulnerable in the 2022, with more and more organizations now stabilized on cloud. Security measures need to be continuously monitored and updated to the safeguard the data from the leak. Although cloud applications such as Google or Microsoft are well equipped with the security from their install, it's the user in that act as a significant source from erroneous errors, malicious software, and phishing attacks. Data breach next and prime target in coming current this year. Data will continue to be leading concern for the organization around the world, whether it to be for an individual or organization. Safeguard digital data is the primary goal now. Any minor flaw or bug in your system, browser, or software is potential vulnerable for hacker to access the personal information. As per GDPR in post 25th May 2020 onwards, offering data protection and privacy for individual in the European Union. Similarly, California Consumer Privacy Act was applied January 2022 for the safeguarding consumer rights in the California area. Next is the IoT with the 5G network. The new era of technology and next with the advent and growth to the growth of 5G network, a new era of the interconnectivity will become a reality with the IoT. We are focused on IoT. This is a big challenge for upcoming time, and a lot of issue we are facing in this due to the new 5G and IoT technology, but it may be required positively and sort out the loophole and make it secure. Next is the automation and integration. With the size of data multiplying every day, it is the imminent that automation is integrated to give more sophisticated control over the information. Modern hectic work demand also pressurize professional and engineers to deliver quick and proficient solution, making automation more valuable than ever. Security measurement are incorporated during the agile process to build more secure software in every aspect. Large and complex web applications are further hard to safeguard, making automation as well as cybersecurity to be a key concept of the cyber development process. Number 8 is the targeted ransomware. Another important cybersecurity trend that we can't seem to ignore is targeted ransomware. Especially in the development nation, industry rely heavily on a specific software to run their daily activities. These ransomware targets are more focused, such as WannaCry attack on the National Health Services Hospital in England, Scotland, corrupted more than 70,000 medical devices. Through generally, ransomware asks to the threaten to the publish the victim data unless a ransom is paid. Still, it can affect the large organization or in the case of nation too. Next, might observer ninth number is that state-sponsored cyber warfare. There won't be any stoppage between the Western and Eastern power in attempt to find superiority. The tension between US, Iran, Chinese, other country like hack often created worldwide. News though the attack are few. They have a significant impact on an event such as election. And with more than 70 elections bound to be held this year, criminal activities during this time will surge. Expected high profile data breaches, potential and industry secret to the top cybersecurity trends in this year. And last, my observation, insider threat. Human error is still one of the primary reasons for the data breaches. Any bad day or international loophole can bring down a whole organization with millions of stolen data. A report by the Origin in Data Breach gives strategy insight on cybersecurity trend. Around 34% of total attacks were directly or indirectly made by the employees. To make sure you create more awareness within the premises to the safeguard data in every way possible. And this is my observation, top 10 cyber security related points of this year. And this regarding total discussion focus Thursday session. Now I am very happy to introduce our next senior trainer and today schedule Mr. Amit Garg. He focused more about to understand cyberspace ecosystem network and various security threats and related some important points. Mr. Amit Garg, he is a senior trainer of LTTC and more than 90-year field experience in data communication and telecom technology. From LTTC side and on behalf of participants and on behalf of our team, warm welcome to Amit sir, deliver for the today's session. And sir, you are welcome here. And this session hand over to the Amit sir. And any question, query, so we may continue tomorrow again in discussion session. Sir, you are welcome and join this for further session. Thanks for listening to me today. Again, see you tomorrow. Thank you. Very good morning to all of you. Thank you, Mr. K. K. Yadav ji, for the nice presentation given by him during the pillar morning session. Is an excellent in the cyber and the cyber related space. Besides being a good cyber immuno personality, he has delivered a very technocrative morning pillar session. Once again, I warm welcome to this session to all my friends. Before starting today's session, I would request to all the participants, please join, and we are just taking the 3 to 4 minutes break before starting the final session. I think 22 or the 23 participants or the 25 participants is there, and I'm just going through the around 20 participants have joined till now. So I request all of you, please invite to join the remaining participants before starting the today's session. Okay, okay, fine, fine. You are not getting my voice. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's good. I think now will you please confirm me I'm audible? Yes or no? Okay. Mr. Singh are not low volume. Increase the volume. Okay, right now, please, Mr. Singh. Shamol, yes. Okay, right now, I'm better, Mr. Amit Singh. I think, sir, my voice is too much louder, and the person who is nearby in the classroom, it will be audible. I think Mr. Samul Pradhan is saying that it is better. And now you are saying just I'm doing my best to make it more louder. Just a moment. Yes, great. Tushari is saying that it is better now. Please wait for the few moments. No, I have checked my microphone. There is no problem in that. I think now you are getting properly. Okay. So how many percent? Okay. So, sir, very good morning to all of you once again. And now we are moving to the session. I would request to all of you, please make your involvement during the session. Please be interactive with us so that we can make it the more and more ecosystem in this session. So once again, all participants are welcome in this second session in the course Scenario in the Cyber Security and Blockchain, conducted by the ALTTC Center of Excellence, Ghaziabad, India. We today are discussing about the cyber space. Before the cyberspace, we are just going through the some pre-involvement terminologies which are required in the modern era. In the sharing slides or the pictograph, you will be best aware about this picture. And this picture dictate a good, say, natural environment or a natural picture or a good, say, scenery. Would you suggest that that picture in itself represent a good environment or not for any of us? A good space. Will you please confirm? Will you please confirm? Yes. Great, Mohanji. Yes. Yes. Great. Excellent. That's a great involvement by the participants because these things really make encouragement between the both sides of the information transfer persons. If we are make the acknowledgements along with the learning enthusiasms, that's really make the good involvement. Okay, now that's represent a good environment. In the parallel, another one slide, it's represent the another one you can say that's also an environment in the nearby slides, just like the blue one. Okay, and now because we are going through the different digital space technologies, I'm not using right now the cyberspace because at that moment we are not aware about the cyberspace. We are not aware about the cyber related terminologies. I am just simply representing these terms in the form of the digital and etc. and etc. the normal nomenclatures. Okay, before going through the cyberspace, we are just moving from the say the tip point. These two pictures are self-explanatory in respect of the environment. Yes, these are the environments. And these are now we can say that in terms of the terminologies are synchronized as well as. If we say the left one is a natural environment and the right one is self-explanatory and represent a, say, digital environment. The first one is the natural environment, and the second one is the digital environment. Okay, now will you please confirm what is a natural environment? Anybody? Or the natural habitat? Or can it be controlled? Great, sir. Samuel, sir, great. Provided by the Mother Nature. Great. Can it be controlled? Yes. No, it cannot be the fully controlled. Very good. Anybody? Monster, great. Yes. Please, I request all of you, your involvement is a not the mandatory, not the say compulsory, but that is a innovative for yourself. It cannot be controlled fully, but we could affect on it. Great. Controlled, but affected badly and effects are not under control. Excellent. We can say that natural environment, all of us know already, and the natural habitat, Sambul Pradhan. Yes, sir. Newton's third law. Great. That is a Newton's third law. And natural habitat, as well as we already know the habitats where the living organism along with the natural environment. The main point is that can it be controlled? The main thing is that it cannot be controlled. And more precisely, it cannot be controlled fully. We, in the layman language, in just wordings, we can say that it cannot be controlled. But however, by using the so many climate controls activities, climate control initiatives, climate control, say, enforcements, we are making to make it to like that it can be controlled in favor of the humanities and the humans or the living organism. All of us are trying for that. How much up to the what extent we are getting success, that is another topic for the debate and the discussion. But we can say that it cannot be controlled fully. So, no, it cannot be controlled. However, nowadays humans and humanities are making efforts to convert into the ecosystem in the sphere of global warming. Yes, I have used the one thing, we have converted it into the space of, we have converted it into the space of ecosystem in the sphere of global warming. That's a complete nomenclature terminology in respect to the our digital world. We can say that for these cyber world, we are trying all these things which are happening in with the natural environment. But before coming to these all these, we have to just go through what are these terminologies in detail so that we can make the proper focus on these and their related technologies. So first of all of you, I think, know ecosystem. Ecosystem is an interaction between the environment and living organism. How we are establishing, how we are establishing an interaction, how we are establishing a connection between the environment and the living organism that make a ecosystem. Ecosystem may be a any type of the space which is favorable or not favorable. So now in the cyberspace, or in the not such the cyberspace, I think the digital world or the cyber world, we are making entry into it. That picture in itself self-explanatory and moving one by one. The world, we know that the world is digital world. Anybody, will you please explain what is a digital world? Not explain, just uh, few words about that, or a single word. Online platform. Great. Uh, Chamoji, very good. Sroj, world with the internet. Fantastic. World Wide Web. Great. Sarah, Internet of People and the Things. Samul, available of digital communication through internet. Okay, fine. Great. Great. Digital world. So, okay. And what is a cyber world? Virtual world. Okay. Yes, please. How will you distinguish between the digital world and the cyber world? Or both are same? Anybody? Okay, fine. It is a network infrastructure. Cyber world involves a human action. Okay. Online involvement. Great. Great. So can we say that a digital world or the cyber world are same? Great. Samulji, great. Fantastic. Now I think you are moving to the great. Now you are moving to the this one, the right direction, and making the appropriate terminologies. In the first one, digital world, we cannot say the internet. First of all, digital world is not the internet, and we cannot say that that's related to the internet. Digital world is beyond the internet. And now, in the case of the cyber world, we can say some some terminologies or some things like that, say tangible or the intangible. However, it is very difficult precisely to differentiate between these two words. There are so many terminologies in today's modern era we are using interchangeably. There are so many words. We are using the cyber world, cyberspace, digital world, digital, and so cyber modern technologies. These are some so many synonyms in the cyber dictionary. We are using the interchangeably. But in fact, on the some extent, we can say that the all the words, all the things which comes under the tangible, these are the digital world. But in case of the cyber, we are also talking about the intangible. I am I will update in the next session, in the coming session, the things which has been used 10 to 5 years back, these are turning to change the definition of nowadays. Therefore, the cyber dictionary or the cyber terminologies is a completely different. These are not the permanent. If we are using the terminologies, say 4, 5, or the 10 years back, that's not mandatory. The definitions will remain the same. Similarly, because when we ask about the digital world, before that, it comes under the digital devices and the digital things. But after the coming of the new technologies, we are giving the all nomenclature, all the say medical facilities or the governance in making it the digitals. So we have made the digital word as a generic. Say in the India, we are using the digital India, and that is word is factoring as in the human life. Say digital education, digital medical facilities, digital say governance, digital education, and there are so many terminologies which are used nowadays with the modified definitions. So we are just making the generic, we are making the generic definition on the basis of our requirement. This is like just like say you are going to the restaurant, and in the case of the restaurants, you are just making an order in the Indian restaurants. I'm asking about that, and you are making the order some say your for the dinner. In case of the dinners, you are finding so many recipes in the vegetarian menu. In the vegetarian menus, and you can see say from the starting of that, I think these menus may be found in the Asian also, say the Nepal, Bhutan, or whatever maybe the you can go through the Indian restaurants. I'm taking the particular example for the vegetarians because that words is related to that only. And the in the top of that you can find out the dal makhni. Dal makhni, are you getting? Are you dal makhni? Great. Yes, your response is a fabulous, Mr. Varunji. I would request for the another participants to give the response regarding that dal makhni. Would you aware about that or not? Samuel, no. Veera Joshi, yes. No. Varun, yes. And Mr. Mohan, no, no. Okay, I will elaborate that because that's food. Yes, yes, that is a food. That is a food, and that is basically a we can say that in the biological name that is a pulses dal. That's asked in Indian food, that is a dal. But in the dictionary, you will not find the dal. You will find the pulse, Pulse. Before the cooking, in the raw case, it is a pulse. In the market, you will purchase it as a pulses. Okay, like the another say food materials like your say the pizza or this burger raw material, you find the bun before making the pizza. Like that, before making the dal, it is a pulse. Are you getting? The persons who are not aware about these vegetable that is sold in market in before the cooking as a dal. These are small particles. Yes, yes, perfect. That is a lentil soup. Great, Varunji. Great explanation and the great word for that. That is a lentil soup, and you can say the sweet corn soup, or you can say that the mancho soup. In the mancho's cases of the pulses are the small tiny particles in the circle or the oval shapes. These are the vegetarian food which is grown in the fields, agricultural fields. Okay, I hope all of you will be get connected with the dal makhni. And the another word is a makhni. Makhni means the butter. Okay, butter that is used in the Indian food. Okay, and now that dal makhni is a generic word, you will never find a menu in Indian restaurants for the pulse or the pulse soup or the pulse makhni or the pulse butter. Like that, we have made the dal makhni as a generic word in our restaurants, in our uh, food food restaurants, food restaurant organizations, or the culture, whatever maybe you say that. Ultimately, we are making the some words as a generic word. Similarly, the digital world has changed the definition that were being used as the 10 years ago, and now we are making it in the different way because the countries are making change in their perspective to change all the terminologies. Now digital becomes an a say generic word that may be related to the tangible or the intangible, but in fact we can say that the earlier it was a tangible environment or the tangible technologies. And obviously the cyber word is, yes, similar to the BlackBerry. Perfect, perfect. And now the cyber word is related to the completely intangible, but somehow we are entering into the another word, say these generic terminologies or the word terminologies in which cyber has take more say space, or the cyber not the space. These had changed the so many terminologies in different technologies and making the entry as compared to the digital. So say sometimes before that, okay, now we are coming to the cyber space. So all of you, please only one word about the cyberspace. Great explanation by the ALTTC moderator. That's also explaining the generic word about the dal makhni in the chat session. Great. Mohanji, online. Okay. Cyberspace is a online. And Samul, what about the Sara? Sara is not responding about these. Samul Pradhan. Yes, Samulji. Cyberspace is a virtual space. Okay. Global information environment. Great. Online network. Perfect. Why we are saying that the online network? Why we are saying the online network? Why we are not using the online space? or say the online environment or the global information environment. Because if we are using the online, say we are using the word network, we are restricting our definition for the cyberspace. We have to take the collective some terminologies so that it can include all the elements that is related to the particular definition. Because if we say the environment, we say the information that comes more precisely as compared to the network, because in that case we are excluding some parts from over this cyber environment. Okay, say it maybe because the cyber is there and we are self-explanatory that we are contracting the space or the global into the small, say, uh, uh, global town, or some coined words like the global village or the global heritage. There are so many words, and ultimately we are contracting means the cyber, the things which are interconnecting to each other on the network, all the devices, all the virtual spaces, all the realistic spaces, and the another things which are connecting to the even humans also. That comes under all the cyber space. All the technologies which are evolving and moderating in today's world, today's space, these are comes under the cyberspace, because we live in a say world, in physical worlds. In that there are so many wanted elements, means the social elements, anti-social elements, anti-semi-social elements, and so. Like that, in the cyberspace, there are so many social cyber elements, anti-social cyber elements, or etc. etc. Samul Pradhan. Okay, what's the difference between the cyberspace and the metaverse? Sir, cyberspace in itself is a converging words which includes so many technologies. Cyberspace include your cyber ecosystem, which comes to the next my this after the cyberspace. That comes the cyber ecosystem includes your, say, all the parts, web 2.0, web 2.3, web 4.0's, AI, machine learning, metaverse, all these things are included in the cyberspace. If you comes to the metaverse, it's further a modification and the comes the say technology which is connected to the AI and the machine learning and comes under the web 4.0. We are moving towards the metaverse. Why, sir? Anybody? We are moving to the metaverse. And how the metaverse word is originated, because right now we are discussing the terminologies. I'm just uh, let you confirm all of you, metaverse, from which it has been derived. Metaverse is a universe, metadata. All these are which are connected to each other. Meta universe is a universe, meta universe, and the metadata means the data which are linked to each other, which are connected to each other. Cyberspace itself is a very, very big space. Yes, metadata. Metadata is a basically linked data. Varunji, metadata is a linked data. You are searching for any data in the Google, and that particular data does not necessarily mean that the Google will understand your language and give the find results. Data about the data, yes. The data which is linked to the another data. I'm completing the Samuji. Data about the data which is linked to the another data. That is a data, metadata. And now I'm giving you the, say, there are so many examples. You are searching for the anything XYZ, and that's not the mandatory. The Google will give you the find result as per your requirement. Say you are just typing the ATM in your Google search. Okay, you are searching for the ATM and you have just typed in the Google ATM and the Google is giving the results for it. What do you expect? What will be the results on your screen, Google screen after that? Will you please? After searching for the ATM, the results from the Google search engine will be, will you please confirm, Samulji? Anybody? So I'm asking the particular nearby. Yes, yes. That's why expecting Saroji, great. Nearby ATMs, great. Automatic teller machine, Varunji, great. Just a moment. So ATM, great. Automatic teller machine, that's perfect fine. But the ATM is also a computer network technologies that is defined by the ATM. Google never know which type of ATM we are asking for it. These datas are the, that ATM may be the banking ATM, that ATM may be the computer network technologies, asynchronous transfer mode. Okay, if we are typing the additional information about that ATM, we are asking about the technologies, we are asking about the bank, or we are asking about the particular bank. That is a another search which is related to the data linked to the another data. That ATM is linked to the this technologies. That ATM is linked to the word bank. If we are typing the simply ATM, that is not the metadata. If we are typing the ATM of, say, Citibank, that is a metadata. If we are typing the ATM technologies in the computer network or say the ATM technologies, it is a metadata. So metaverse is a new technologies in the vast field of the cyberspace. We are including itself into the cyberspace day by day, and metaverse is the result of all these. Now we are coming to the once again the cyber digital world. We are already discussed that these things, the cyber digital, all these the combinations, but perfectly we are using the cyberspace. Again, the cyber digital world is a substitution for the cyberspace. However, the cyberspace is the most appropriate word is being used right now. So now we are coming to the over cyberspace ecosystem. What is a cyberspace ecosystem? Cyberspace ecosystem is a system in which humans devices and its environment is being able and to being enforced to interact with each other for making is a perfect ecosystem. We are abstracting the good thing from the cyberspace in cyber ecosystem or cyberspace ecosystem, because in our environment, in our human environments, there are so many antisocial or the anti semi-social elements which are not favorable to the ecosystem of the environment of the our human environments. Like that, in the cyberspace, there are so many a number of the unforeseen events, whether these are the human events or whether these are the say machine events, these are not in favor of the cyberspace. And to make into the cyber ecosystem, we are all the complete humanity working on that to or the technocrats, the information security advisors, and all the professionals related to the fields, they are trying their best and the making day by day innovations to make it the cyber ecosystem or the cyberspace ecosystem. I think just give a 2 minute break, please. Only a bio break for the 1 or 2 minutes. So thanks a lot for your patience. Now we are resuming the session for the cyberspace ecosystem. We have already discussed how we are making the cyberspace into a ecosystem. All the humanities, and the security expert and the information security experts are making their best to make to enforce the cyberspace into the cyber ecosystem. Now, the next one is yes. Will you please confirm the cyberspace is a first man-made environment? Would you please agree with this statement? Yeah, Mohanji, will you please agree cyberspace? Sarah, no. Okay. Cyrus, Samuel Pradhan, yes. Okay. Mr. Varun, yes. Saroj, please make your involvement to make innovative to yourself. I am agree that is a man-made environment, but not the first. Okay.
Farana is a yes. Man-made environment, not the first. Okay, first, Sarah, you were not agree, and later you have make the don't agree into the agree and but not the fully agree. I'm right. Cyberspace is in fact the first man-made environment because cyberspace has been innovative, developed, and say fabricated by the itself humans. They have not been created by the divine power. In day-to-day environment, from the earlier one, we are making it from over convenience for our involvement for the humans or for the humanity. We cannot rule out this is not the first man-made environment. Cyberspace is the first man-made environment. That's another point of the debate or the discussions whether this space is a cyber ecosystem or not. But in fact, that is the first man-made environment. Like other natural environments, it can or cannot be controlled. Already we have discussed it. It can not be controlled. It can be controlled only at some extent, but cyberspace, because we are making the involvement and enhancement in every respect by the humans and by the machines, therefore it now cannot be controlled in any way. If we can control, how and why? Will you please explain, anybody? Yes, please. No, it cannot be controlled. Yes, Mohanji. Yes, it can be controlled. Okay, Varunji, cognitive system. Okay, so why? Anyway, right now, first cannot be controlled. Yes, in the finally we can, in the case of the natural environment, we are making the efforts to control it. But in the cyberspace, we have come into that extent we are not able to control it in any way. We have just crossed all the boundaries, and now we have not involving all the things. Okay, now say internet platform. Is internet a cyberspace or cyber ecosystem? Please tell me. Is internet a cyberspace or cyber ecosystem? It's a medium for the cyberspace. Okay, Mohanji. It's a medium for the cyberspace. I think the cyberspace. Great. Samulji, yes. Yes means Yeah, Varunji, we know that the cyber ecosystem is a cyberspace already discussed. My question is that we have already discussed about the cyber ecosystem. Obviously, the cyber ecosystem is a subset of cyberspace. That is for the Varunji. We have already discussed about that in the last slide. Now the new discussion is that the is internet a cyberspace or cyber ecosystem? Amit is saying that both. Great. Samulji is a cyberspace. Okay. And I think Biraj is saying that cyberspace. Okay. Samul is both. Saraji, I think the cyberspace. It's a medium for the cyberspace. Both. So first of all, we cannot say the both because cyber ecosystem is a inherited part of the cyberspace. We are abstracting the good things from the cyberspace and making a new environment among the cyberspace. That is a cyber ecosystem. Okay. So we cannot say it is a both. You have to select only one, cyberspace or the cyber ecosystem. Internet is in fact cyberspace or cyber ecosystem. There should be only the one, or maybe both, or none of these. It may be also possible. In fact, it is neither a cyberspace, neither cyber ecosystem. We used these terminologies, these things interchangeably in the cyber dictionary or the cyber terminologies. First of all, we have already segregated the cyber ecosystem from the cyberspace. Now the point is that internet is in fact what is in it. It is neither a cyberspace nor the cyber ecosystem. How? How many of you suggest already we have discussed? You are some saying that the cyberspace, some saying the both, but all of the options are not appropriate. Cyberspace is a word of information through the internet, whereas the internet is a set of computer networks that communicate using the internet protocol. A very simplified definitions without using any highly informative synonyms. Cyberspace is a space in which information is floating on the wires of the internet. Internet in itself is a medium to float the information. We can never say the internet is a cyberspace. We can never say the internet is a cyber ecosystem. The internet is just like a highway in our space or in our cyber ecosystem to run our vehicles, our thoughts, our devices, our informations, our datas, over say antisocial elements informations. There are so many datas, information, devices which have to be floated, which have to be traveled in the highways. That is a that is a internet. Say cyberspace, we can say that a space in which informations or the data is floating on the highway on the wires of the virtual wires of the internet. And the internet is a basically computer network infrastructures which are connected to each other by using the some set of rules or the protocols time to time. Okay, I think I have explained to all of you, and you are all of synchronized with me, with my thoughts, and with all my these presentations. Are you agree with me or not? Great, Varunji. Great, sir. Great, Sara. Great, Viraji. Thank you. Great, Mohanji. Because your involvement and your response is motivating to me as well as the innovating to yourself. If we are synchronized to each other in these learning session, that's make a collective efforts by me and yourself also. I think the remaining candidates is still not involved. There are some candidates who are involved up to a great extent. Prerna ji, Mohan ji, and say Sara, Veera, and Mr. Varun, Mr. Singh, Amit Singh, Mr. Samuel. Are you agree, Mr. Samuel? Great. That's great. Your response is your response is a glucose to us. Your response is not the mandatory, but your response is okay, fine. We are moving to the next one because your innovation is a must. Okay, the term cyberspace refers to all the space that use the internet over different communication networks, including the World Wide Web and other applications that use this infrastructure. We have just expanded the definition and including all the web part which is connected from the web 2.0 to the web 5.0 and the further, and other applications which are connected to the world wide web and etc etc. Cyberspace is a collective definition for all these things. So ecosystem, we have just make the some definition now, but the more precise definition for the cyber space ecosystem consists of varieties of the diverse participants, governments, private firms, individuals, process, devices, and different technologies, hardwares, computers, its communication technologies that interact for the multiple purpose. Now we are moving to the exact definition of a ecosystem in which we are working under a one umbrella, under a one single firm purposes for a particular organization, for a particular country, for a particular, say, uh, humanities. We are involving all these terms, process, governments, countries, and the individuals along with the different technologies to make a good cyber ecosystem. Our purpose is to make ecosystem, the cyber ecosystem, maybe the different purposeful, maybe the different target, maybe the different requirement, but ultimately we are working for the humanities, to safeguard the humanities, to safeguard the over purposes, to safeguard the human life. There are so many uses and purposes of cyberspace ecosystem nowadays that is limitless. Conversely, we have just make it to some definition purposes is like that. And for the case study, for the case study, we can say that the banking ecosystem is a perfect contender of cyber ecosystem and its security. Yes or no, sir? Will you please agree for this statement? Banking ecosystem is a perfect contender for cyber ecosystem and its security. Yes, Mohan sir. Great. What about the other one? What about the Rana ji? Chamod, Mr. Chamod is saying that yes. Okay. I would request you make your response in the chat box to make the system interactive, innovative, and the synchronized learning for all of us. Because if you not participate, I will assume that I am not up to the mark and not making the perfect direction. Yes, please, Sarojji, Varunji. Okay, Mohanji, how it is a perfect contender for the cyber ecosystem and its security? Banking is a ecosystem or the most vulnerable entitled to the cybercrime. That's great. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent, Mohanji. Excellent. I think you have just make the 100% purpose of this cyber ecosystem. Not the cyber crime. First of all, before the cyber crime, you have to just come to the cyber security, because we cannot say that is a, uh, but you are 100% right. That is the most vulnerable and all the vulnerable things are fired for the monetary benefits, all the threats for the monetary benefits. Yes, Amolji, please make your why the banking ecosystem is a perfect contender for cyber ecosystem. Please, it means you are not agree that the banking is not a ecosystem. Yes or no? Because after that one, we are just making the break. What about the social media? Okay, social media is a ecosystem, sir. Samuel, sir. Social media is a ecosystem. Okay. Now tell me, what's your first priority if you have one internet banking account and another one's your Facebook account? Which one account would you like prefer to make secure? Bank account, great. Internet banking, great, great. Yes, please. Excellent. I'm repeating the first again my question. You have the two account. One account is for your internet banking of any of your account, and second is your Facebook or anyone social media account. Which one account would you like to secure? On the priority, make first and second. The first one, which will be secure in your perspective, bank account. Sarah, great, great. Mohanji, great. Samul, need to secure the social media too, as we are exposing our information which could be used to hack bank account. Sir, after that, we are discussing the banking ecosystem, how we are secure before the cyber security. Now we have to prioritize our requirements. We cannot parallelly move into the multiple technologies to safeguard our purposes. We have to prioritize. If we prioritize the things, after that we can safeguard our purposes. Okay, you are saying that the social media has to be secured, but thing is that why you are exposing the things on the social media which is related to your monetary things? First of all, we have to prioritize the things on the scale of priority as per the person. My question is very simple. You have the two accounts. First one account is for the bank internet account. Second one is a Facebook, Twitter, or the linked ID account. Which one would you like to secure first? If we are confusing on that, which one we have to be secure, then it means we are not prioritizing our requirement. Yes, absolutely. Now you are right. First priority is for the banking, because we have choose the banking as a monetary aggregator. That's why all of you have choose for the banking, because you know that if you are choosing for the Facebook or any type of the social media accounts, that is not directly penetrated in your banking system, that may be fired, that may be hacked, that may be compromised. That is a second issue. First priority is that your internet banking is directly penetrated to your saving or whatever may be the banking account. You have to secure it on the first priorities. We are working all of us for the social media, but if we are making the priority for the social media, it means we are lagging all the banking system and banking organization in the back foot. So to make the ecosystem, not only the cyber ecosystems, not only the cyberspace, each and every organization have to make, to set their priorities to safeguard the interest of the organizations, for the humans, for the employees, and the in the favor of the so respective field, maybe the organization, maybe the country, maybe the government, whatever may be. But first of all, we have to set the priorities. So in the view of that, we have taken the banking ecosystem is a perfect contender for its that ecosystem. Now, all of I'm just taking the 10 minutes break for the tea and the bio break. I would request all of you, please join after exactly 10 minutes and make your maximum participation on the chat and the WhatsApp group, so that you have been innovative for yourself and make the involvement in the synchronization of the learning. Okay, just thank you for that session. For any query, you can type in the meantime in the chat box. It will be remain on, and I'm just rejoining after the exactly 10 minutes. Thank you. That's welcome back to all of you. Okay, great. Now we are resuming the session. Ecosystem we have already discussed, and the banking ecosystem is a perfect contender for this cyber ecosystem and its security. We have already all these points discussed in the first half session. Now, we are just more precising the definition of this cyber security. In terms of the cyber security, in terms of the ecosystem, cyber security is the practice to safeguard the computers, servers, mobile, electronic system, networks, and their data from the malicious attacks. Okay, all these in terms of the ecosystem. But what's the definition of the cyber security in terms of the cyber ecosystem? What's the definition in terms of the cyber ecosystem? We are discussing about the now cyber security. We will further also discuss this cyber security may be replaced with the cyber resilience. The cyber security is no moreover like that the first earlier one. Now the trends has been changed. The trends has been changed, completely changed. That is, we have to think that cyber security is not the cyber security nowadays. It becomes a cyber resilience. And now, in terms of the cyber ecosystem, what the cyber security dictates and interprets, it's basically convergence of we peoples, process, and the technologies. When these come together to safeguards the organization, networks, individuals, humans, humanity from the digital threats, digital attacks, and the digital malwares. We have to take the cyber security and its terminologies and its enforcements up to the extent of up to the extent of say up to the extent of this cyber ecosystem. Cybersecurity, as we know that these are all say the safeguard the computer devices, server, and electronic system. Not. We have to think beyond that. We have to think the cybersecurity in the context of cyber ecosystem. We have to make it as per the convergence of we humans, process, and technological process which come together to make safeguard the organization, this world, individuals, networks, and the ultimately country, and we can say that the all over cyber space and the cyber ecosystem. That is the complete new modification for the cyber security and its manifestation enforcement so that we have to look beyond the simple uh, say enforcements. I think the cyber security, the convergence, all of you will get about that. Yes or no? Agree with me? And how we will convergence the people, process, and the technologies. Yes, please. Mohanji, Sara. Because right now we are talking in the context of the cyber ecosystem. Yes or no? Please, sir. What about the Samolji so that we move to the banking ecosystem? Okay. Sara, great. Agree. Perfect. Samolji, very good. That's also great. What about the Mohanji, Varunji, Saroj? Great. Now we are moving to the next. That is a cyber information network. Cyber information network. Will you please quickly tell me in which circle, just with the name of the colors, just the name of the colors, will you please tell me in which circle the word will come cyber security, network security, and the information security? You have the three circles. In which circle larger one is a information security? Please type in the chat box. You have the three options and the three circles. First one is the option is the first one is the cyber security. Second option is the information security. Third one is the network security. Sarah, Tushari, just a moment. Okay. Blue one is a cyber, green is a network, and the pink one is information. Samuji. Okay, Sarah is another one option. That's great to see the participation from your side. That's really great, Mohanji. Cyber, this one, this one, this one. That's really great. All are working very fantastic. And I think these three circles are representing obviously the three domains. And before I will go to each and every domain, Varunji. Okay, great. Okay, great. Before I will move to the exact options, because it's very difficult to go through the each one, but that's I'm really happy to see the involvement of all of you, because that's great. That's great. Fantastic. That's really innovative for all of you to make the involvements with so much enthusiastically. And now the option for the correct one are Pramod, great. And now the way they are writing the option, that's also innovating. That's great. And now in terms of that, I'm explaining the first one. I'm correcting it. Say the first one. Okay. Agree with the Tushari. Sakti Pong. Okay. Now I am lifting all the curtains. Yes, that will be like that if you are going through the okay. Before typing the chat box, I will elaborating you. The larger one circle is the information security, the teal one, and the teal one, not the green, and the green one, that is a cyber security, and the third one in the reddish, this one is a network security. How it is? Just a moment. You can see it The network's security is the bottom one or the smaller one, and next bigger one is the cyber security, and the third one much bigger, that is the information security. I think all of you are already aware about that. Network security safeguards the network and its transmit data, whereas the cybersecurity deals with the protecting information with the cyberspace. The most informative difference is the between the cybersecurity and the information security. We are mostly confused as per your chat answers between the cybersecurity and the information security. Information security deals with the protecting the data bound, that means that physical as well as the digital. We cannot say that the data which are comes under the information securities that comes mandatorily for the cyber security. It's not mandatorily all the things that comes under the information security will comes under the cyber security. We have to safeguard the data for the physical as well as the digital in case of the information security. But in case of the cyber, we have to protect the information in respect of the cyberspace, the information which is floating in the cyberspace. Bound the cyberspace, if we are safeguarding it, that is a information security. A simple computer that doesn't contain, or the simple hard drive that doesn't contain any type of the connection like the Bluetooth, like the internet, simple drive, SSD drive, portable SSD drive, which we are using for the storage, that is a information security that comes under the information security. We all the physical devices safeguard comes under the physical security. I think all of you have synchronized my thinking and my words. Agree or not? Or any doubt about that? If any doubt, most welcome. Please ask on the chat box. Any doubt? Great, Mohanji, great. Great for the spontaneous response. Fabulous. Great, Sarah. And what about the others? Whether great, Varunji. What about the another ones? Yes. Okay. Now we are moving to the next one. Great. And now we are moving to the next part, which is providing pillars for the cyber ecosystem in the cyberspace. For that, we are just discussing these triads, which are pillar for the information security or the cyber security. But ultimately, because we have changed the definitions, we are changing the terminologies time to time, and these are becoming the part of the cyber ecosystem. Earlier, the CI traits were introduced for the information security. Still, they exist for that. But now the CI traits are the integral part for the pillars as a cyber security or the information security in the building phase, on the pillar phase. How these traits are used in cyber ecosystem to mark the different resilience for the cyber securities. Okay, first a brief intro of these words. I think most of you already aware about that. Confidentialities. Confidentialities, you already know about that. What the confidentiality? That is the data that is accessed only by the authorized individuals. Integrity, you know that the information is reliable as well as the accurate. And the availabilities, sometimes these availabilities are interchangeably used with the accountabilities, but in fact that accountability doesn't exist in the CI threads. That accountability comes to introduce further later on. Earlier one, that's what's the availability, still that exists the availability, and that availabilities ensures that the data is both available and accessible. Accountability comes more far later after the CI traits. We are using interchangeably, but in fact that is a availabilities, and both available and accessible to satisfy the business needs. These are the some simple terms for these CI threads. But in fact, how these terminologies and how these threads fits in the cyber ecosystem, up to what extent the meaning of these words has been changed drastically. And they are completely changing the complete overall structure of organization in itself. How? Let us see. Before that, I'm just expecting the participation for these three words from your side. Just give me a quick brief about that. The what you expect or what you understand about the mean of the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Quickly, so that we can enter into the banking ecosystem. In the next slide. Great, Samolji. Perfect. 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 Prevent the unauthorized disclosure of information. Great. What about the Mr. Jaya Kumar and another one, Tushari? Okay, Tushari is giving already. Perfect. Prevent unauthorized access, integrity ensures that the data is accurate. Okay. Perfect. That's great. Okay. Means authorized user. Keep safe, truthful, data deserved. Okay. Perfect. That's great. Great participation. Now, we are discussing this pictograph, and in that, you can see that some conversation is going on between the some higher managements, and they are saying that the our company is going to make the 10% loss in the quarter four. 10% in the quarter four. That conversation is being made between the two senior executive of the organization or the company, and that information has been reached. I'm not saying that right now the hack is reached by any means to the another third non-eco system person, oh, their company is going to make a loss of the 10% in quarter four. Let's give it to the media with a modified number or the with modified information, say 50%, say 40%, say 30%, whatever may be. Means that if the information is being taken or being exfiltrated from the reliable sources and it has been modified in their own words as per their personal benefits or another propaganda, that is the ultimately breach of the confidentiality. Means we are patching the data and make it to the change as per our need or the unethical practice, that is confidentiality. There is a there is a another one, that is integrity. Okay, or company is going to make 10% loss and make it to the 0%, make it to the 10%, 20%, or we are altering the information, that is the integrity, right? And now availability. You already discussed availability is the basically excessive. I think the Jaya Kumar ji has already keeping sensitive information. Yes, right. And now we are discussing the banking ecosystem case study for these CI threat. What banking ecosystem says for these CI threats, that is, say, you are using a banking ATM card, banking debit card for any bank. For any bank, we are using any type of the, say, debit card, not the credit card, debit card, and ATM card, cash card, what you say, and you are interested to withdraw the cash from it. You are going to the ATM part and you are withdrawing the ATM part. ATM machine, not ATM, because the ATM is also the, say, your computer network. ATM machine. Say we are reversing the scenario. You are not interested to, just a moment. You are not interested to yes, please. You are not interested to go to the ATM banking machines and your, say, any family member is going to the ATM machine for the cash disbursement. And now at this stage, your banking ATM card, banking debit card is a property or the physical device which belongs to you. That is a item or that is a cash disbursement item which bank has given to the concerned person, concerned account holder to disburse the cash. You cannot give this ATM or debit card to any person who is unauthorized to take it and disburse the cash. Now, what's the thing? Thing is, say, if you are not interested to give the debit card to your family member and your family member has approached to take this ATM card from himself or herself. Okay, whether he or she will be able to withdraw the cash from the ATM machine. Is it possible? Is it possible? Obviously, it is not possible to disburse the cash because ATM in itself, the debit card in itself is not sufficient to disburse the cash from the ATM machine. The concerned person who is willing to withdraw the cash, he or she should have the concerned ATM or the debit card PIN along with it. These two things, first one, the physical device means the debit card and its PIN or the password collectively comes under the confidentiality of your bank account debit card. If any person is able to fetch your debit card, he or she will not be able because under the confidentiality, banking ecosystem has introduced the PIN or the password for your debit card. In case physically it has been captured or the fetch without your permission, it has not been able to disburse the cash. Under the confidentiality from the starting, initially, it has been inherited feature of the debit card with the PIN. Without PIN, it has been never possible to withdraw the cash. Moreover, as the times comes, they have appended one more confidentiality factor. Sometimes we are adding it to the two-factor authentication, but that comes under the confidentiality. We are introducing like that the OTP. That has been attached with the your debit card. You have to use first debit card password. After that the OTP, and we will be able to withdraw the cash disbursement. These points, when we have implemented these things in the earlier stages of the banking, we never think these are correlated with our these cyber security or the cyber resilience threats. However, nowadays we are recollecting the thoughts and we are making the things interlinked to make the system more to safeguard our transactions. Now, after that, if your persons, your family member has taken both or the three things along with the OTP, it means he is completely authorized or overtake, completely authorized or the overtake the confidentiality factor as per the account holder consent until unless he or she has all these details along with the OTP, he or she will not fetch or withdraw the cash. Now, if he has withdraw the cash, in that case, what's the scenario comes under the integrity? Will you please tell me? The person of the family member along with your permissions, along with your credentials, going to the bank, going to the ATM machine, and he or she withdrawing the cash. Okay, after the withdrawing the cash, what factors is coming under the, I am taking the case study of only this cash withdrawal. Okay, what factor comes under the integrity and the availability? First, we are talking about the integrity. Will you please tell me? Anybody? Confidentiality is to Shari, the credentials. Sir, first of all, am the Again, repeating, for the confidentiality up to the ATM machine with debit card, with with the debit card pin and along with its OTP, it's come under the confidentiality. He or she has disbursed the cash from the machine. After that, what comes under the integrity? Cash disbursement or anything. Confidentiality has been complete because the ATM card has been delivered to the family member. He has taken the pin from the his owner of the debit card and as well as the OTP also. Cash requested. Very good, Samulji. Great. Anyone or else? The balance amount, Varunji, and anybody? There are so many great persons are there. Please, quick. My question is that person with another one family member debit card and its pin along with its OTP go to the go to the ATM cash machine and cash has been disbursed. After that, what point will comes under the integrity? Which one in this case study, which one event comes under the integrity? Say, that's a very, very, say, demanding part of the this complete case study. The person who is making the transaction, say, he has made the transaction for the 10,000 rupees in the Indian currency. And in case he has received 5,000 rupees, okay, that means the integrity of the ATM cash disbursement machine is doubtful. If he disbursed the 15,000 instead of this 10,000, then also the once again that is not up to the mark. The amount which is requested by the concern holder or the its operator, the amount must be disbursed, the cash amount must be disbursed from the machine as same. If it is a 5,000, it must be 5,000. If it is a 10,000, it must be 10,000. If it is 500, it must be 500. Any variation of the amount yes, any deviation from the amount, whether it is a downside or the upside, is meaning of that is the integrity is being failed at the your ATM cash machine. Okay, sir. Now that's the one side of the integrity. Another flip side of the integrity is that the machine is disbursing the complete currency as per your request. If we have requested 5,000, it is disbursing the 5,000. Okay, but the machine has made the entry for the 10,000 or say 1,000. Once again, the machine is not maintaining the integrity of this particular transaction of the cash disbursement. Meaning of that is both sides of the coin comes under the integrity. Any one side fail, it means that case study for the CI trades completely failure. Because if you are getting the complete cash but making the wrong entry in the ledger, that means that is a failure of the bank. That is a loss to the bank. If it is less amount in your account, that is another repercussions. If it is excess amount, that is another repercussions. Means we have to make the integrity on the both side of the coins to make it the success. Are you agree with my point or not? Yes or no? May please jawab de. Sorry. Please make your comments on the yes. Great, great Mohanji. Great, great Varun. Because if we are failing the integrity on the one side of the coin, we cannot say that we are providing the full integrity of the system. If we are making both sides of the coin for the integrity prospects, that makes the complete success of this integrity part. And the third one, availability. Quickly, please make your views on this case study only. What makes the availability? Availability. Okay, Samulji. Okay, I will repeat, no problem. Okay, your internet, fine. Samulji, I'm saying that integrity is a very integral part of this case study and ultimately the CI trades. If there are two coins in this case study, first one is that if you are withdrawing the say 5,000 rupees and your cash machine is giving you the say 10,000 rupees or 1,000 rupees, both are incorrect in your prospect. If you are getting the 1,000, you will be sad. If you are getting the 10,000 rupees or the 10,000 currency, you will be happy. But in both the cases, the integrity of the debit card, ATM card machine will be the under doubtful. And now another side of the coin is that you are getting the exact amount what you have requested for the your cash machine. Say the 5,000, you are getting the 5,000. If you are requested for the 1,000, you are getting the 1,000. Fine, but machine is making the unrecognized entries in your concern account. Say if you are fetching the account, fetching the cash currency for the 5,000, it is disbursing the 5,000. Okay, you are happy, fine, but your machine is debiting your account with the 10,000 rupees. That will be another side of the coin for the trouble. If it is debiting the 2,000 rupees from your account, it's once again the trouble for your bank, concerned bank. So for the integrity, both sides of the coin should be fully entrustable to their activities or to their platform to perform the activity so that it can perform both the coin activities simultaneously. That's the integrity indicates in this case study. And now my question next one is that availability. Great. Availability of the banking. Yes, Varun saying that the banking application systems and network. Okay. Anybody else, please quickly. Availability. because we have to enforce the another thing into the banking ecosystems. Please quick your response. Varun is saying that the application systems and the networks. Yes, please. Anybody? Sarah, Mohanji, availability of the enough money in the teller machine. Great, great. Availability of the funds. Veera, great. If the ATM was not available, the money when the person makes the withdrawal, ability to withdraw the money at any part of the country. That's great, Jay Kumar. Perfect. The meaning of availability in that case study is we have to make available, we have to make available the ATM machine to the concerned person or the concerned card holder so that he or she may withdraw the cash. Availability of the network, yes, Monji. Okay. No, the correct data will be comes under the integrity, not the availability. I'm already discussed. Uh, correct data is not a part of the availabilities. Correct data comes under the integrity. If you are going to a person with a check and he is not making perfect, good, good. And now the availability. Availability means we are discussing that that ATM card must be available. That ATM card machine must be available to the particular location so that the concerned persons may be able to fetch the cash, the another prospects or the services which are to be provided by the bank at that ATM cash machine. Okay. But the most important part is that is it possible that each and every ATM for for each bank, for each and every bank, the ATM is available at all the locations so that the each and every person can accessible to it. That is not a practical possibility for each and every bank to include the so many infrastructure costs, so many technically infrastructure costs for the operations, for their maintenance, for their machine cost. We have to make the physical devices besides along with their internet connectivities for their maintenance, person security, and so and so. Besides that, for that the solutions comes under the interoperability of the bank ATMs. It's not mandatory. You are able to withdraw your cash with your concerned bank ATM only nowadays. You will be able to withdraw your cash with other bank ATMs with some restrictions, obviously, because they have to make some operation charges and so and so. But with restrictions, we are able to withdraw the cash. That makes the banking system, banking ecosystem to make the available of the debit card or the debit card cash fetching machines or the ATM cash machines so that each and every persons will be able to operate their ATM cards. Besides cash, they are able to make the another transactions for their convenience. That is a major part of the availability because each and every bank will not be able to establish the ATMs and after that to make available cash and the operational to its time to time. To make it convenient with the availability factor, they have allowed for the interoperabilities of these banking ATMs as per the regulator instructions. These makes the complete CI trade in respect of the banking eco sectors. And another one, facilities. Okay. I think we have synchronized that case study properly. Any doubt? For that, we have already discussed that example, CI threads. Now we have added the two additional factors in the confidentiality, like the authentication and the authorization. Anybody will differentiate between the authentication and authorization? Authentication, you are authenticating to any person by providing the passwords. Okay. And authorization is you are authorizing to the person on the behalf of you. There is a fine line difference between these two actions in the cyber terminologies. Authorization is not the authentication. Authentication is not the authorization. These are some layers which works in these CI threads. Availabilities works under the physical access layer in synchronization with the application layer, and confidentiality work for the infrastructure layer along with the application layer. Integrity completely works for the data in the motion layer and the infrastructure layer. These has been discussed already in the this part. And now we are coming to the once again the CI threads, and these are saying that remember, implementing the threads is not a matter of establishing the certain tools. Basically, the threads is a way of the strategic planning, implementation, enforcement, and setting priorities by the organization. That's the complete sum of the thread implementation, CI threads implementation. And already we have discussed the interoperability of the automated tailor machines, because they banking have set their priorities to reinforce the interoperabilities of these ATM machines. If bank agrees not to make interoperable of these machines, we cannot make each and every bank's ATM cash machine presence and each and every locations. So the organizations have to set up for their implementation and setting the priorities to establish these CI threads. And now I am adding the most prominent group name in that for implementation of this. I think most of you will be aware about that, the Tata Group in India. I think most of you are aware or not. Tata Group in India. Please. Yes or no? Okay, Samol. Tata Nano. Okay. That's beyond the Tata Nano. Tata is a beyond Nano, because Tata Nano was a ambitious project of the Mr. Ratan Tata. Tata is much more than this single group. Tata have in India for each and every field, say any type of the organization in there, say The Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Sons, Tata Chemicals. There are so many automotive cars held by the Tata Sons, Tata Jaguar, Tata Safari, Tata Nano, all the EV vehicles mostly launched by the Tata in India. It is a vast group, but I am here discuss the Tata for their banking sector. The persons who are aware about India's banking sector, they will really shocked how Tata is involved in the banking sector. Anybody, will you please tell me if they know? Is Tata is operating any bank in India? Is Tata is operating any bank in India? Yes or no? Simple question. Is Tata is operating any? Okay, don't know. Quick, Varun ji, Mohan ji, no idea. Samul, Sara, heard about the Tata Capital. Great, Mohan ji. Tata Capital is a, but not bank. That's great. Tata Capital is a different. They are providing the some, say, another type of the services, not the bank. Banking is a completely different. There is no bank owned by the Tata in India. No, yes, Tata Insurance is there. And I think you will be aware about that Tata IndiCash. That is well known Tata IndiCash. That is a known banking player in India. A single bank is not in that owned by the Tata in India, but they are operating the Tata IndiCash. And what is a Tata IndiCash? Tata IndiCash is basically a known banking ATM. Tata is known for their remarkable journey in the uh, different type of the industries and different type of the innovative approach, and they have established their approach in that on the basis of only the availability tried factor. They have establishes the different these unique type of the ATMs under the name of the Tata IndiCash to make the successful event for these availability triad factor. And how it is work, under what label it works, that is known as a white label ATMs, white label cash disbursement ATM machines. And white label cash disbursement machines are those which are not belongs to a particular bank, Indian bank. And these IndiCash machines are providing cash disbursement service to all the card holder of the Indian bank card holder on the basis of the availability factor. They are providing service seamlessly. Tata doesn't work on the confidentiality, doesn't work for the integrity. The other are working on their behalf. They have choose the factor availability and make successful these CI trades. So the motive of this case study is that we are implementing these triads so much earlier before that we are aware about the cyber securities. We are working on that. We are using the day by day in our life, but There was some interruption due to some issue in the network, and now I'm resuming. I think all of you are getting my voice properly. Great. And now I was discussing about the Tata IndiCash. And the Tata IndiCash was owned by the Tata Group on the basis of the CI traits availability factor. These Tata IndiCash ATMs are the cash disbursement ATMs are the white label ATMs as per the Indian standards, and they are providing the cash disbursement or the cash fetch facilities to the Indian banks debit card holder. That was a fantastic move by the Tata groups. Without owning any bank, they have set up their priorities to establish the ATMs and comes under the interoperabilities of these ATMs factor for the availability under the CI traits and make it the successful and the eventful. That's really appreciable by this large group and so many old group in India, and it's perfectly working fine on the basis of the cash disbursements. These has been established in India in 2007, and you will surprise that already after the 15 years there is no complaints and there is no reimbursements regarding the working of these Tata IndiCash. And more surprisingly, the Tata Group doesn't own any core banking in the name of these IndiCash ATMs. Core banking means we are just dealing with the banks, not the any type of the capital like the services. So the another fintech company are providing. We are just providing the complete core banking. That's why I have used each and every time debit card or the ATM card. I have not used the credit card because the credit card may be provided by the fintech. They are not even providing the core banking. There are so many groups all over the world, even India. So I was referring that word only because of the that terminologies which is completely reinforced and manifested in these CI traits and automated operations and Tata Group. After all these, we move, and I've already known that these are the white label ATMs, and white label ATMs are known that these are related to the non-banking systems, the groups which don't own any type of the core banking. Okay, these or more interestingly, these ATMs machines set up, owned and operated by the non-banks. These are not making the lease. They are on, they are operated and they are maintaining, means the Tata. And they have enforced the availability factor without CI, and that's complete with you 2000. From the 2007, it's working fine. And now that's another one in a quick. After the CI traits, some persons all over the world, some Don Parker along with the Parkin Hexet, they have coined the another one tried along with some additional factors like the authorization, authentication, and they have enlarged this CI trait triangle into the hexagon. These hexagon, once again, they included the confidentiality, authorization, integrity, authenticity, availability, utility. We can extend it because ultimately CI thread, it's not a holy writ. We cannot say that that's completely fixed up to the 2090 or 2080 or 70 or 50. They are penalty of the informations, challenges, or the another one that doesn't cover each and everything. Now, I will demonstrate why we have taken the banking ecosystem. The Mr. Samuel has says that social media has been the first priorities, or the we have to look into the social medias before the banking sectors, but that's not the true. You have to go through the data from the 2004 to 2021, and you will be surprised in the pictograph in your left side. Among all the threats, 9.9 billion threats was from the web. Web means these are from the web. Web, we cannot categorize. These webs are the for defense organization. These webs are for the etc. organization. But the specifically second one, finance has 2 billion threats, 2 billion attacks, 2 billion data breaches, conflicts. Means we are working in a era in which we have to establish a banking system as an ecosystem at and at each and every cost, at any cost, because each and every person's is willing to attack, is willing to compromise the data, is willing to compromise the information on the behest, at the behest to gain the monetary benefits. They are ultimately saying that we have to gain the monetary gain at any cost. That's why in today's time, only two attacks predominantly. Two attacks exist predominantly. First one is a ransomware, and the second one is a DDoS attack. These attacks not comes under the traditionally, but these attacks comes make the penetration into the modern new technologies as well as. We cannot rule out these attacks has already established in the new technologies and make a separate business entities in this cyberspace. You will be surprised to know that ransomware in today's time all over the world work as a complete business, and they have established some particular ransomware attacks as a service. They are working as, say, uh, we have to share the profit, we have to share the model, and on the basis of that, we will work. If the ransomware executed, ransomware successful, they work on the basis of the master slave. They work on the profit sharing model. And these in the cyber, say the dark web or the cyber web, we say that the RAS. RAS is a ransom as a service. In that particular, they have established a particular entity in the dark web and providing the service to the willing persons. Means the persons means the antisocial ecosystem elements, and they are sharing on that to grow their selves. Now that is a pictograph from the 2004 to 2020-21, and has been elaborated for any types of the how they have fired the web, retail, finance, gaming, government. Once again, the but the most prominently from the 2004 to the 21, you can see each and every year they are targeting the finance. Web means it is a collective. It may be finance, it may be health, it may be government, it may be the retail, it may be gaming, data mining, whatever may be. Web means from the web. But each and every year you will see go through the finances here. Okay. Now, before moving to that, anybody, will you please tell me what is a jaguar? Anybody, please, quickly. I think all of you know that. I'm giving the option. First one is after this pictograph, I will get the answer and you can type the answer in chat box. First one option is that latest innovative robot. Second option is that latest name of Web 6.0. And the third option is cat. Fourth option is car. Say, I'm repeating the question. What is Jaguar? Very good. Mohanji. Animal. Great. I'm repeating the question. What's a Jaguar? First is car. Second is, say, animal. Second is tallest, one of the tallest robot in world. The fourth one is brand name. Perfect. Fourth one is a new name for the Web 5.0. Vehicle brand. Okay. Right. What about the Sarah? Animal, brand name, vehicle brand. No idea. Perfect. And now, first of, I'm moving this pictograph. After that, I will give the answer. Say, you are. That's great. Tushari is a white Jaguar is in the cybersecurity. Okay. Animal, car, and also the robot. Perfect. Absolutely. Great. Great, great. Anybody else? Just heard about, but no days. Okay. Okay. We are discussing here some graphical pictograph. One side, degree of social connectivity. Another side, degree of the information connectivity. Okay. And how they are reciprocating to itself in the basis of degree of the information connectivity and degree of the social connectivity. One side, one is more, another side, another is more. Web 1.0, all of you aware about that. Both the things are at the initial stage. Okay, the web 1.0, information connectivity as well as the social connectivity, both are the same. In case of the web 2.0, we have maintained degree of information connectivity same, but the social web has been increased. Yes or no? Next one is web 3.0, information has been increased. Social is as it is. And the last one, WebEx X.0, both has been increased and the name is MetaWeb. I'm not going through the too much details about that. You are already about you are already aware about these. I think so. Social web, the web. I just ask one thing. Semantic web, you are aware? Web 3.0. What is that? Semantic web. That is your Google, that is your search engine. Okay. After that, the web X.0, another name is that for the meta web. Okay. What about the web 0.0? Anybody? Is there any web 0.0? Yes or no? Please tell about the web 0.0. No idea. Okay. What is the meaning of no? No, no means, is it machine code? No idea. Okay, no idea. Is it machine code? 0.0 is the development of internet or the development of the web. Okay, that is nothing else, the development of the web or the development of, we can say that initiation, because the development is still going on. Okay, so we can say that it is an initiation of the World Wide Web, because the development is still persists. We are making from 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, but it is a basically initiation of the World Wide Web, or we can say that, say that the initiation of the internet. Okay, and now we are come to the question, what is a Jaguar? We are already discussed about that metadata. Okay, the Jaguar is basically a car as well as the cat. Car as well as the cat. Okay, we will make it pending because that will be a further point of a discussion, how to interlink this discussion of the Jaguar to with next coming sessions. Okay, this pictograph are showing that the evolution of web, expansion of web, how it is expanded drastically from the 1980 to the 2030, 40, whatever may be. How it is evolved, that's another one. Okay, now we have already discussed, this is also, that's a great thought, because your knowledge and my knowledge based on what search results are not served may be very different from each other. That happens only and only due to the globalization of everything. We are discussing these slides because I think I have to confirm one thing. Before that discussion, is any doubt to anybody? Because we are just moving to the another one. We are moving to the another one quickly. There is any doubt before that point? Okay, Samud, that's great. All of us, will you please confirm? That's great. That's great to me. That's pleasure to me. Perfect. Fine. Fine, sir. Because we are moving to the next one. Beyond the CI threads, we are moving the next one. I'm just giving some thoughts and some idioms. Web search engines have revolutionized the way people find and use information. Web 3.0 we are discussing, and web search engines, that may be the Yahoo, and that may be the all the godfathers search engine Google. Web search engines have revolutionized the way the people find and use information. But you have to see, yes, you have to see, yet Google cannot find everything. And it is important to understand limitation. And it is important to understand the limitation. That's the fact. Human intelligence quotient cannot take over the AI and the ML in any extent. That's a fact that has to be point of the debate or the discussion. But how it is, we will see. Because ultimately we are making the penetration of the human intelligence each and every aspect, time to time, in spite of so many revolutions, in spite of so many technological advancements, we are still intact. In the support of that, search is fast without necessarily being intelligent. I have given the example of the Jaguar. You have maybe search for the Jaguar, you will find the so many options, and they have been provided by the Googles without any priority of intelligence, and they have just firing the results. Jaguar may be a car, Jaguar may be a cat. Specifically, I'm telling cat, maybe it is an animal, because it's a particular cat which is found in the which is normally found in the United States, and now the name is a Jaguar. So the Google is a search engine, but we have to conclude the fact the search is fast without necessarily being the intelligent. In spite of so many intelligence and so many advancements, we cannot rule out. So what's the addition of it? Addition of is that we have to move beyond the CI traits, and we have to penetrate the or the incorporate the human experience logic in the CI traits. By the incorporation of the human experience in these CI traits, we have to make it into the quadrant. Now that triangle will be changed into the quadrant, and that human experience may be of in any shape, maybe of any type, maybe of any, say, we are moving from the one technology to another technologies. You have to add, we have to add human experience. We have to add the human intelligence. We have to add the human intelligence quotient. And you will be surprised to know that machine learning and the AI learning is lacking one most important part, and that is a human emotional quotient. You are adding, we are adding, all of us are adding so many quotients. We are adding the human intelligence quotients. We are adding the human intelligence. We are adding the human experience. But there is some lacking. That lacking is the human emotional quotient or the quotientancy. These machines can never to be assumed to gain the emotionality or the emotional quotients up to the extent which human possess or the have. So that is a triangle triad into the quadrant. We have already discussed banking organization are the perfect contender for that. Now, once again, these are the another one three triangles. Okay. And now we are moving to the banking once again quickly, because you have become already aware about the CI traits on the banking. But banking has to be improved beyond the CI traits to make is a more and more banking ecosystems. If they will remain biased on the CI traits, ultimately they will be on the backlog. We have to append these traits into the core traits each and every time, maybe 40, 2040, 50, 60, whatever may be. On the basis of that, we have to append it. We have to make it more innovative. How? Right now, we are using all the transactions by using this CI traits. Okay. Now we are adding some technologies. We are adding some further upgradations. If I believe these reddish circle is a CI trait, but you believe that for the green one and the teal one, please suggest quickly. Or you can write down the name of for three also. I have just suggest for the CI trait for the bottom one. Please, quickly. Any idea? I'm repeating once again. CI traits in the bottom one circle, middle one blank, the larger one circle is also blank. Will you please fill up these circles for the new technologies in the banking ecosystem? If you will not respond, I will assume that we are not synchronized on this topic. Any idea? Okay. CI traits, encryption, and tokenization. CI traits, encryption, and the tokenization. CI traits, you have already discussed, you have already gone through that. Encryption, already you are using, and the latest one is a tokenization. Tokenization is a latest field in the developing countries. In the developed countries, it's already been implemented. These tokenization is different from the blockchain tokenization. Blockchain tokenization is also there, but that's a different. Blockchain tokenization is based on the cryptocurrency. That's it. That is a digital, and that tokenization is a technological advancement in the banking sector. How it's working? Encryption, you are already working, you know about that. The encryption, your data is encrypted. First it is encrypted, and the receiving end it is de-encrypted. Okay. For the tokenization, what's it just go through it. Tokenization, if you think about, I'm giving the two examples. First example is a casino. I think all of you are aware about that, the casino. Yes or no? Great. Mohanji? Mohanji, Samulji, are you aware about the casino? Great, great. We go to the casino and purchase the tokens to play the slot games. Great, Viraji. Great, Chamoji. And we basically exchange the money for the plastic coins. But these plastic coins have no value, have no meaning outside the casino. Means that these tokens are only and only are used at the casino site. Besides that, you are also aware about the tokens which are distributed at the different event, which are distributed by the event manager during the cash payment, and they permit allow for the token after the event or before the event. These tokens have no value. Like that, these tokens have introduced. Okay. And now you have to go through it. Yes. We are discussing the tokenization and the encryption based on the functionalities. Quickly, I'm giving to the recap. Tokenization basically a mechanism in which a key is not used. Means the tokenization process cannot be reversible as in the case of the encryption. We do the encryption. After that, we can de-encrypt it. Means it can be hacked. It can be intercepted by using the logic of the encryption. But tokenization is a technique or the mechanism that doesn't use a key. Doesn't use a key means that it cannot be decrypted. It cannot be intercepted. If it is intercepted, like the token, just I'm asking about the casino or the events, it is no use of the hackers or the some actor threats. It will be useful if and only if for the person who is using the tokens. And which person is using the tokens? The person who is making the tokenization transaction. Tokenization transaction is being made by the all the credit card holders in the banking industry today. These tokenization transactions are executed for the credit card as per the compliance, as per the instructions, as per the uh, enforcement by the regulator and the PCI DSS. Payment cardholder interface data security system. They are providing cost effective and non-traceable, non-attackable transaction by using the tokenization. They are also the cost effective. They are the techmatics. Moreover, they cannot be changed the length or type of the data being protected. In case of the encryptions, it can be changed. Moreover, still tokenization is most favorable for the online transactions. But for the physical transactions like the POS machines, like your debit card machines, debit card for the cash disbursement machines, we are using the encryption technique only. All these are the same. That is a pictograph how defender efficiency and the attacker efficiency gap are widened as the time goes. In 90 it was about 50% gap, and right now it has been increased to approximately 70 to 75%. For all these, you are already aware: malware, ransomware, spyware, trojans, web. Already you are aware about that. We discussed. Okay, now we are using the security tools like locking our house, novel trying entry in our home, but we are doing it with the mindset that someone might enter. We are using, similarly, we are using the security tools with a paranoid mind, but it doesn't mean that we are entirely safe. These things are same with the securities and the cyber securities and the cyber resilience. We are doing all these things because we are with the paranoid minds and thinks that someone will attack or something will be pressed by the. Okay, and now that is a fun time. If the functions of the mouse get reversed, is there any possibilities that the function of the mouse get reversed? Right, sir. Sorry. Any idea? Any idea, sir? Function of the mouse get reversed means that right click becomes a left and the left becomes a right. No idea, sir. Because after that we are just trying to conclude the session. Before that, we will take any doubt is there. Functions of the mouse get reversed. Is there any possibilities? Any answer, sir? Will take time to adopt to the correct click. Great. Subhauji. What about the Mohanji? Sara, Saroj, Veera Joshi, Varun. It could be confusable at first. Okay, that's great. That's great. Anybody, Mohanji? You all are the great innovative persons of this course. Be interactive and the be involved. That is just a fun. Involved with the cyber ecosystem, cyber space ecosystem. What do you mean by the Chandokji will take time to adapt to the correct click? Means that, sir, will you please no idea? Take time to adapt. I mean, we can adopt changes. Okay, perfect. We would not be able to work in the same speed after the change suddenly. Wow. Perfect, sir. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's good. Get new mouse. I'm really happy all of you give the answer out of the box. That's great because we are thinking beyond that. We get the virus, we get attacked, or system get attacked, and so many permutation and combinations. That fabulous. We get new mouse. We will have to adapt because the left and right get reversed. That's fabulous. All answers are the out of the box, but if you have to ensure that you are out of the box, you have to done only one activity. You have to done one activity. That activity is that you have to deattach your mouse, make it attach with your computer or the device, and make it the restart. If it is once again after the restarting, it's operating in the same functionality, you will be aware about the any type of the any type of the ransomware attack or the Trojan attack. These attacks, similar attacks, has been introduced. I'm just concluding the session after that case study. These type of the attacks has been just taken place in SpiceJet and the Twitter. However, they have to make the conclusion after a lot of the some persuasions. In the recent SpiceJet, in the I think the March 2022, they have just say that it has been fired by using these type of the tactics. And before that, in March or the April 2020, Twitter gets a ransomware attack, and for that they have targeted the Twitter itself. They have captured the administrative tools of the Twitters and make to start the tweets to get the Bitcoin in their accounts. After that, they have established a ransomware attack to it. So that's answer the fabulous, and we have made the out of the box thinkings and out of the box tendency like the humans innovations. But to get it confirmed, we have to make it to the confirmation by using these activities. I think we have all synchronized in today's session to get the all the purposes to get innovative and to understand all these things. Session maybe get extended. There are so many conversations are remaining, but we have to conclude the session due to the time constraints. We will take in the next coming sessions when it will be allotted. Thanks for the patientful listening and attached and synchronized with us. Before concluding the session, I would request, it may be possible that in the WhatsApp group, I will post one or two questions. If you get involved, innovative, please give the answer for these questions when you feel convenient. Have you any doubt? Please make in the chat box. Otherwise, we will conclude the session. Besides that, give your valuable feedback in the chat or the WhatsApp group to make us the innovative and get responsive. Thanks a lot for today. Thank you very much. Over to the KKB.
Thank you, sir, for nice presentation, and thank you all of you join this session and listen carefully. Tomorrow, our session will be delivered on the social engineering. Tomorrow session will deliver by the Dr. Sika Krishna and Nitin sir in the two parts. And again, I request to all of you at least 4 or 5 minutes make a presentation regarding the cyber security, either blockchain from your own side, and give me your time when you want to deliver this 5 minute session from your side, this platform. Okay. So please request to all of you. Again, I repeat, all of you, either a group, either individual, at least 4 to 5 minutes, one presentation regarding the cyber security and blockchain technology upcoming any date as per your convenience. You can represent here on this platform. Thank you. And today's session and material will be shared in your group today. Have a nice day. Thank you. See you tomorrow, all of you. Namaste.